Welcome to another episode of Live from the Wish House with me, Chris Spinner. If you're a regular, welcome back. And if it's your first time, I'm so happy you're joining us. You know, my path profoundly changed when my son was diagnosed with autism. My marriage collapsed, and I began to develop my own Cris-losophies to navigate and thrive. I'm here to connect with you, to share and learn, and together we can open our minds to creating the life you love to live. So please subscribe, like, share, and most importantly, comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, feelings, and stories. I love the expression, I don't know who needs to hear this. So I've been incorporating it into my vernacular lately. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but I've been noticing that so many of us are overwhelmed, uneasy, off balance, harried, and in some cases, downright angry. I've been noticing it a lot. I've been noticing people becoming irate about the smallest of things or fixating on things that they really can't change. And then finding someone to blame and then venting it all into a space that becomes a rant. And none of it makes them feel any better. The crazy thing is now we have so much information at our fingertips that we can find someone to agree with us anywhere, on social media, on TV, on the radio. We can just type in the search bar and hundreds, maybe even thousands of video pop up feeding us other people that feel the same way. And all of these people are doing this from the purview of their couch or their kitchen table. Even newscasters are sitting at a desk with a camera in front of them. And no one really comes up with any solution. There's no action. It's just a loop, a frustrating loop that makes us feel overwhelmed, uneasy, off balance, harried, and in most cases, angry. And all of that emotion gets cycled into the way we deal with our day. It gets cycled into the way we deal with our family, deal with our friends. It cycles into our work, cycles into the way we deal with ourselves. We have a darker view and it comes up in conversation, and there's no shortage of people that want to jump into that spiral with us. But that's what it is. It's a spiral. It's all a loop. And we feel like we're doing something because we're stating our case and we're speaking our mind. I'm finding a lot of stating the case and speaking the mind on social media, but unless you're willing to take the risk of opening an account or creating content around what it is that you really want to express or who it is that you really want to become, basically all you're doing is just adding another level to the loop. If you're always writing on Facebook what you think, you're going to have two sets of people responding. One that agree with you, ones that are going to jump on the spiral with you, jumping on the bandwagon, and you're going to feel good because you have the company of those people. Or you're going to find the other kind of person who simply disagrees with you, and they'll start an argument with you. And now you're twice as overwhelmed, uneasy, unbalanced, harried, and angry. And nothing has been solved. Nothing changes. I don't think that we're created to absorb the amount of information we do on a daily basis. I don't think our mind, our brain, I don't think our psyche was set up to receive the amount of information we receive in one day. Think about it. The amount of information you receive simply sitting with your phone and scrolling. So if you sit with your phone and scroll, say on TikTok, it's amazing how an hour or an hour and a half can just fly by. Your eyes are on that screen and a lot of stuff is popping up. A tiny home, a political statement, somebody giving their opinion on the Oscars, how to put kitty litter under your tires, how to put soda in a cake, followed by an AI video of a lion chasing someone into their trunk, a live panel discussing a crime scene, and how many macros you should be eating a day. And you're just sitting there in 10-second, 20-second, 30-second sound bites, and it's all going into your mind. It's all going into your mind through your eyes. There's no way your brain isn't short-circuiting. And then you'll fall upon something that really feels serious to you, perhaps something to do with medicine or education, something to do with the state of the world, something to do with a larger issue that you feel passionate about. And that's also right there in your hand. So you can focus on deep diving into those topic areas and blink your eyes, and it's 2 hours later. And it's really all you've seen. It's all you've thought about. It's like air. It's all you've inhaled. I hear so many people say that things were so much different years ago. Things were simpler. I think things were simpler because we didn't have that much information coming at us every single day, every single waking moment. This age of information has left us feeling breathless, and we don't know what to do next. So let's talk about it. We don't enjoy seasons or holidays like we used to. And I'm going to put a little Cris-losophy on that. I'm going to tell you why that is. It's because you have a phone in your hand. And as you scroll in August, you're being bombarded with fall aesthetic, with Halloween crafts, with cozy ideas, and warm pumpkin spice coffees. And by the time you get to the end of October, your phone is filled with all of the things you should be doing for winter: Christmas lights, crafts, presents. You see, we were never present. We've already been through Christmas and October. We feel like we've been through all of those things, and it's not even the end of August. And it starts to make you feel like you're behind. I can tell you that I start to feel like I'm behind. It wasn't even December 1st, and I felt like I was missing Christmas. I actually said that out loud to someone. I had lost track of the dates because of scrolling on the phone. I had made a conscious decision not to get into all of the Christmas festivities until the beginning of December. But by the time December rolled around, I was already in a loop, already in a spiral, and I was terrified that I was missing it. I kept feeling like I was a step behind. I kept saying, I feel like I'm behind. And it was only the first week of December. We also hear about things earlier. So if there's a catastrophe, a weather event, any kind of social upheaval, we get it right away on our phones. And then we can collectively bond with others through that immediate piece of information. And then we'll sit in that until it's over. Until it's over and the next piece of catastrophic information comes through. We're to a point where we can't stand in a grocery line or sit at a red light without checking our phone. If we're in a restaurant, the minute someone at the table excuses themselves to go to the restroom, we pick up our phone. The minute we're not engaged in human conversation, and I dare say half of the time when we are engaged in conversation, we have the phone in our hand. We're constantly getting messages from people. We're being texted all day, every day, and there's lots of requests in those texts. The phone rings and you want to take the call, but you're at work or you're engaged with someone else, or maybe you simply want to take a break and then it's gnawing at you. You can't seem to function until that call is returned or that text is answered. Everybody's waiting on someone else. I was 49 when the first iPhone came out, but I don't think I had one right away. So suffice to say, I spent the first 50 years of my life without instantaneous communication. I had to wait until I was home to use the phone. I had to wait until I was home to see if there was a message on my answering machine. I had to wait until I was home to turn on the TV and see the news of the day. If I was in a restaurant and someone excused themselves, I had to simply look around the restaurant or maybe strike up a conversation with the person that was sitting next to me or the wait staff. When I was driving, I had to settle for radio stations to get some news, maybe to get some traffic, a little bit of weather, maybe a talk radio personality. But for me, it was mostly a music radio station. But I had to rely on the musical tastes of the DJ that was spinning the platters, or I had to take out my favorite cassette or CD in order to hear the artist I wanted to hear. And unless I was in a store, I wasn't bombarded with holiday and seasonal merchandise or ideas. I mean, yeah, the stores try to push you ahead a little bit, but once I was home, it was all out of sight and out of mind. It's a scary thing. I think we're being manipulated by an industry, not an original thought, but one I've thought for a very long time. I know on TV there's news opinion networks who keep a conversation going for weeks. The topic's in the loop, and you can pretty much guarantee it'll be on that loop when you hit that remote because it's designed to keep us hooked. If you want to know the resolution to the story. But if you look back, most of the time there really hasn't been a true resolution. You never feel resolved because when something really does come to that resolution point, it's already overlapped with the next big thing. And we forget. We forget that story, that incident, that catastrophe hasn't really been wrapped up. And apps and social media, I don't understand how all of the apps and the algorithms work, but I do know that's a kind of manipulation too. So think about it. This happens to everyone. Everyone talks about it all of the time. You're scrolling through and you stop on something to look at just for a little extra time. Like recently, I stopped to look at a walking pad for my wellness journey. And I looked at that video for about, I'm going to say a minute. I might have even watched again. And after that, every video that was popping up on my feed was about a walking pad. I know that's happened to everybody. You're scrolling through and you stop for something frivolous. There was a gal reading like tarot cards online once. And I stopped to watch her. And the next thing you know, card readers were popping up faster and faster on my feed. See, there's a manipulation in that algorithm too. So I got a little curious. I asked AI the other day. I sound like I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't. But I did ask AI the other day, tell me something about dopamine and social media. So I'm going to tell you what it said. Verbatim, it says, social media platforms act as digital dopamine pumps designed to trigger the brain's reward system via likes and comments and infinite scrolling. Infinite scrolling. This creates a compulsive, addictive loop similar to drug or gambling addictions. Constant, unpredictable rewards spike dopamine, leading to cravings, tolerance, and reduced dopamine receptors over time, causing anxiety and maybe even depression. I was validated. What I've known for a while is finally validated. You know, conversely, little by little, I've started to question about what I'm posting, what I'm putting out there as the opposite of what I'm feeding in. What am I feeding everyone else? When I first joined Facebook many years ago, the thing was food. You have to remember that when everybody was posting what they had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I still haven't gotten over that phenomenon. I must say, I don't think I ever posted any food I was eating. I mean, I'm sure there were one or two times, but that still remains for me the most bizarre little trend. But there was an urgency about showing people everything, even what we were eating. We took pictures of every last thing that we did. We took selfies all day long and we kept posting, getting my nails done, getting my tire changed. I'm having a burger here. And people in the bathroom taking pictures of themselves in a mirror. I took pictures of every lunch gathering, every birthday party, every christening, every family event, every wedding. Whatever we were doing, I took pictures of it, and I wasn't alone. Do you know the other day I noticed on my own phone that there are 23,000 pictures? I have 23,000 pictures on my phone. And outside of the little memes that I've saved, I'm really not interested in deleting any of those pictures. What's that all about? I don't even know what they're pictures of. But sometimes when I'm scrolling through looking to delete, I see strings of pictures of my son, for instance, and I don't want to hit delete. 23,000. But I'll tell you what's happening now. I barely take my phone out at social gatherings anymore. And I'm making a conscious effort to stay present and enjoy where I am. It's not easy. It's not easy in the short time I've had this phone. So figure it out. I'm 67 and I got my first iPhone at 50. So what is that? Maybe not even 20 years, right? That I've had this in my hand. And now it's a conscious practice to stay present and not take that out. I mean, it's nice to look back and have pictures of memories that you've made. It's nice to look back and see pictures sometimes of people that aren't with us anymore, but I don't spend time anymore looking at my life through the lens of my phone. And I don't feel the urgency to do that in anymore. I went to a party the other night and I posted 2 pictures and that was my caption. It's the mark of a good party when all you have are 2 pictures. I had one little selfie with a friend that photobombed my picture. My friend had decorated her home like a winter wonderland. And when you took the selfie with the background, it looked like you were deep in the winter woods. And so that was one picture, me and a friend of mine photobombing, and another picture of a group of us all together. I'd given my phone to someone, but I don't feel the urgency anymore. You know, in the glory days, back in the day, we waited till the end of the party. Everybody got together and we snapped away with our Instamatic and then our digital cameras. And it's also making me wonder why I post what I post. Why do I post what I post? Do you really need to know who I went out to lunch with? Do you really need to know everything that happened at my friend's birthday party last Saturday night? I think even that's causing anxiety. I think it's making some people feel like their social life isn't full enough. And what's the point of me posting so that you can see how much fun I'm having, that I'm this devil-may-care gal having a great old time whooping it up on a Saturday night, if that might be contributing to your feeling overwhelmed, feeling harried, feeling not part of the group, and maybe feeling a little bit angry. I've become more intentional with my posting. Sometimes I'm writing a whole post and then I delete it. Why do people need to know that piece of information is my new question. Why do I need to give people information that might make them more overwhelmed, uneasy, unbalanced, harried, or maybe a little angry? Are you feeling the pain here? Are you feeling my point? So what if I give you a few practical things that I've been doing lately that are helping me to stop being in that loop, that are helping me to stop spiraling? So want to start spiraling? I don't know who needs to hear this, but the truth of the matter is we really can't go backwards. We really can't live in a world that's 1972 or 1995, but we can incorporate some of the style of those years into our own virtual home in our mind. So here's a little Cris-losophy. Okay, number 1, understand that anything to do with our world, shaping our world, anything political, any opinion that you may have, any idea that you want to put forth, anything that you believe in passionately, anything that you believe in passionately that would drive the community at large in a different direction has to be done by you in real time with action. You must go to work for a candidate or hand out flyers or join a protest. You must make an appointment with someone real to speak about things in your community that you don't feel are going well. If you want things to change, you have to be the change. If you're sitting on the phone day after day, venting to your friends about how bad an elected official is because they're not doing X, Y, or Z in your town or in your state or in your nation, all you're doing is feeding yourself with negativity. And then the law of attraction is going to kick in. The more you speak about what you don't want, then that is what's going to show up. Action. If you want something, you have to create action to get it. Second, nature. Get out and take a walk, go take a drive. At the very least, sit by your window with a cup of coffee and look at the snow. My mother used to always say, don't miss the seasons. And I incorporate that sentence into my every single day. And I say it all the time with my son. As you know, my son has autism and has many challenges. But one thing he does is incorporate the seasons into his everyday. That's because I'm constant with the don't miss the trees, don't miss the yellow leaves, don't miss the ice on the little mountain, don't miss the buds. I got that from my mom. It stuck with me. It keeps you present. My mom used to eat her lunch, even in her elder years, out on her little enclosed porch on any day that there was any kind of weather event. So if it was raining hard or snowing, or if it was a windy day where the leaves were swirling around, she would bring her little sandwich out to her enclosed porch and eat her lunch with no radio, no TV, no music, just eat and watch all of it for 20 minutes because it settles us to see the awesome work of nature, even if it's simply looking at it in your backyard. And go easy on yourself. Don't try to take on all the problems of the world, of the community, of your family, of your work. Don't try to take all of these problems on all at once. Bring everything back to the focal point of you. Instead of looking for the world to be kind, you be kind. Instead of looking for the world to scatter joy, you scatter joy. I'm not a person who puts my head in the sand. I want to be informed. I want to be consciously aware of what's happening while I come up with strategies on how I might insert myself into the situation and give a solution. But you have to detach yourself because much of what goes on is not in your immediate control. You must attract what's happy, what's comforting, what's warm into your life. Simple things. No TV during dinner, no radio during dinner, only acoustic guitar Pandora stations. When my son was little, we had an album or a CD called Acoustic Evening, and it was in a rotation with other CDs of light instrumental music, and we would play it from the minute we sat down at dinner. He still requests that today. Now he's into the light classical or the calming classical on the Music Choice station. That's sometimes called romanticizing your life. Buying a coffee mug that represents the season you're in, or getting a couple of extra decorations for your home. I'm very into seasonal pajamas lately. I have a pair of pajamas for every holiday and every season because there's something fun about having my coffee with my Valentine mug and my Valentine PJs. It's whimsical and it makes you want to smile. It makes us all want to smile. And smiling brings on gratitude. We want to remember that we are in control of ourselves and in control of our everyday emotions. We can decide if we want to fill our heads with the negativity of the harsh, cold, cruel world instead of looking for the good, seeking out the wonder. Even as I say it, I'm smiling. You can't have a smile and be thinking about the negativity. You can't have a smile if you're going to be thinking about your surroundings and your space with doom and darkness. Think about filling your surroundings, your space with love, joy, kindness. It sounds so cheesy and so simple, but it's so true because love, joy, kindness comes with openness. And that's a choice that we can rely on to make ourselves happy. We can't blame what's happening in the world on a consistent basis to how we're feeling every single day. Detaching from your phone as much as possible, you're walking around with the entire universe in your hand. You're walking around with an object. Think about this, the size of a box of playing cards that holds the entire universe in your hand. Recognize the awesome power of that and choose more peace. It's not your fault that you're overwhelmed, uneasy, off balance, harried, and in some cases downright angry, but we can do something about it. But do we want to do something about it? Now, there's an interesting thought. And I guess that's for you to think about and for me to touch on another day. There's always something else I give you to ponder here at the Wished House. See you next time.